There's a common misconception about power. We see it in explosive bursts of anger, in passionate declarations, and in overwhelming displays of feeling. For a moment, it seems like the most emotional person in the room is the one in charge. They command attention, their feelings radiating outward, forcing everyone else to react. But this is an illusion of power, a fleeting dominance that burns out as quickly as it ignites. The person who shouts the loudest isn't necessarily the one with the most authority. Often they are the one who has lost control, a puppet whose strings are pulled by their own volatile emotions. True power, the kind that endures, that influences, and that builds, looks very different. It's quiet, it's composed, it's calm. It doesn't need to announce itself with a roar because its presence is felt in its stability. Think of the leaders, negotiators, and thinkers you admire most. Do they flail in a crisis? Do they let panic dictate their next move? No. They possess a stillness, a centered gravity that allows them to navigate chaos with clarity and purpose. This is the power we will explore today. The quiet, unshakable strength that comes from mastering your emotional state. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being the master of your emotions, not their servant. Emotions are essential. They are the internal compass that gives us vital information about our world. Fear signals danger. Joy signals connection and fulfillment. Anger signals that a boundary has been crossed. In this sense, emotions are data. They are messengers delivering urgent reports from the front lines of our experience. The problem arises not from the messages themselves, but from how we respond to them. When we allow these raw, unfiltered emotional signals to take the driver's seat, we lose our way. Clarity dissolves, and we begin to make decisions not from a place of wisdom, but from a place of pure, unfiltered reaction. Think back to the biggest mistakes you've ever made. Chances are, they were made in the heat of the moment. A decision fueled by anger, a choice driven by fear, an action born from desperation or overwhelming excitement. When emotion is high, rational thought is low. Our prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain responsible for logic and long-term planning, gets hijacked by the amygdala, our primal emotional center. We are literally less intelligent when we are emotionally overwhelmed. This is why reacting emotionally feels so compelling, yet so often leads to regret. We trade long-term success for short-term emotional release. The calm individual understands this trade-off. They learn to receive the emotional message, thank it for the information, and then let their rational mind decide on the course of action. They don't ignore the data, they simply don't let it dictate the entire strategy. Control isn't about silencing your feelings. It's about leading the conversation between your feelings and your actions. If staying calm is so advantageous, why does it feel so unnatural, so difficult, especially under pressure? The answer lies deep within our evolutionary wiring. For thousands of years, the human brain evolved for one primary purpose: survival in a hostile environment. In that world, a quick hair-trigger reaction was a life-saving advantage. The rustle in the bushes wasn't something to be calmly analyzed. It was a potential predator, and the person who reacted fastest, with a surge of adrenaline and an immediate fight-or-flight response, was the one who lived to see another day. Reactivity was synonymous with safety. Our brains are hardwired for this instantaneous response. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline are designed to prime our bodies for immediate physical action, not for thoughtful deliberation over a complex work email. But the world has changed faster than our biology has. The modern dangers we face are rarely life-or-death predators. They are deadlines, difficult conversations, market fluctuations, and social pressures. These are complex challenges that demand regulation, not reaction. Our ancient survival instincts, however, still fire up as if a saber-toothed tiger just walked into the office. That feeling of your heart pounding before a presentation, that's your body preparing to run or fight. The urge to lash out when criticized, that's your brain defending its territory. Feeling calm feels unnatural because we are actively working against millions of years of evolutionary programming that screams at us to react now. Mastering calmness, therefore, is not a passive state. It is an active skill. It is the conscious and deliberate act of overriding our primal instincts to engage a more evolved, more effective part of ourselves. This leads us to the practice of emotional detachment. Now, the word detachment can sound cold, as if it means becoming a robot, devoid of all feeling. But that's a fundamental misunderstanding. Emotional detachment is not suppression. Suppression is when you feel anger and you force it down, pretending it's not there. The anger doesn't go away, it just festers, waiting to explode later. Detachment is different. It's the ability to observe your emotions without becoming entangled in them. It's stepping back and saying, there is anger, instead of, I am angry. You acknowledge the feeling. You watch it rise and fall like a wave, but you don't let it become your identity in that moment. This practice creates a crucial space, a tiny pause between the feeling and your action. In that space lies your freedom and your power. Without that space, a trigger leads directly to a reaction. Someone insults you, you insult them back. But with detachment, a trigger leads to a feeling. The feeling is observed, and then you choose your response. Someone insults you. You feel the sting of anger, you observe it. And in that moment of observation, you can choose. Do you retaliate and escalate the conflict? Or do you choose a response that serves your long-term goals, perhaps by staying silent, asking a clarifying question, or simply walking away? This space is where strategy is born. It's where you stop being a pawn of your circumstances and start becoming the chess player, calmly assessing the board and making your next move with intention. When you cultivate this calm, you create a powerful strategic advantage in almost every area of life. In a negotiation, the person who remains calm while the other becomes flustered holds all the cards. The emotional person reveals their desperation, their weaknesses, and their pressure points. The calm person, by contrast, reveals nothing. Their composure becomes a shield and a tool. They can think more clearly, process information more effectively, and notice subtle cues that the emotionally agitated person misses entirely. Their stillness is magnetic. In a crisis, people don't look to the person who is panicking. They look to the one who is a steady, reassuring presence. Calmness projects competence and control, drawing others in and making them want to follow your lead. This is how calm becomes influence. Your emotional state is contagious. When you are agitated, you spread anxiety. When you are calm, you spread stability. By mastering your own inner world, you gain a subtle but profound influence over the outer world. People who are easily provoked are easily manipulated. The person who knows how to push your buttons owns you. But if there are no buttons to push, if you can observe the provocation without reacting, you become ungovernable. You retain your autonomy and your power. The calm person wins the long game not by being the loudest, but by being the most resilient, the most clear-headed, and the most strategic player on the field. So how do we train this ability? Calm is not something you can simply force upon yourself. Telling yourself to just calm down in a moment of panic is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It doesn't work. Instead, calm is a skill that is trained, cultivated over time through consistent practice, especially when you are not under pressure. The training begins with the body. Simple, deep breathing exercises are one of the most powerful tools available. When you slow your breath, you send a direct signal to your nervous system that you are safe. The heart rate slows, muscles relax, and the mind begins to clear. This is a physiological hack into your own emotional state. Practices like meditation and mindfulness are the gym for your emotional regulation muscles. By sitting in stillness and simply observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment, you are practicing that crucial skill of detachment. Each time you notice your mind has wandered and you gently bring it back to your breath, you are strengthening your ability to choose your focus. You are training yourself to be the observer, not the victim, of your mental chatter. This training builds a foundation of inner peace, a reservoir of calm that you can draw upon when the storms of life hit. Calmness is not an absence of problems. It is the presence of a well-trained mind that can handle them. And once this skill is mastered, it becomes a source of quiet, unshakable power. It is the strength that allows you to bend without breaking and to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Thank you for watching.